Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So last week we did the chenille rope, and this was really popular, and you've posted such beautiful ropes on Facebook. They're gorgeous. I haven't had a chance to make a necklace yet, but I will make. I love this idea with smaller beads for Mother Earth and any kind of cap pendant or bracelet. I mean, this is awesome. I love this stitch. It's so much fun. So I did get a request to make a flat chenille tutorial, and so I looked for it because I'd never done flat chenille before, and there were many there weren't many tutorials or explanations of this stitch. And then I found one. Somebody had mentioned, had posted that they found on Beading Daily the written instructions for it, and apparently those written instructions, I don't think I can use them because I think they're copyrighted. So it might be a recent stitch. I really don't know. There wasn't a whole lot of flat chenille around. But flat chenille and this stitch, which is Pondo Stitch, to me it looked like exactly the same stitch, except this one, Pondo Stitch, has a picot built in at the end of each row. So trying to think of how to get to just the flat chenille without the picot, because I think there are so many possibilities along this edge that maybe you don't want to add this in right away. So I came up with something on my own that was a little combination of, combination to make, to do Pondo Stitch sort of without these beads at the end. And so I came up with this, and it's, I think, as close to chenille stitch as I can get without, infringing on anybody's copyright. So anyway, it's totally different. So I made this little bracelet, and well, not bracelet, this little piece, and I used 8/0s and 11/0s on this one, and this is definitely Pondo Stitch. And that one is, I see lots of tutorials on. So that has a little picot built in, and then I made this little component and posted it on Facebook, and I'm still working on the component, and this stitch takes a while to make. So I will finish it and make a bracelet. I'm just still, these are diamond duos, and I'm not a big fan of every single new 2-hole bead or 4-hole bead or whatever that comes out. I just, you can only have so many beads. But I was kind of fascinated by this one. So I looked at a lot of the projects out there, and apparently I'm late for the party because there are a lot of projects out there for this. So I was thinking, what can I do that's different? So I thought I'd do a component that was reversible. Okay, so do you see how it's like a sandwich? It's so, you can reverse it. So one side you can do it with, you can have these little seed beads coming out, and the other side, you don't. And I just thought it made a nice little component. This could be a nice pendant, or, we could put several of them on a bracelet. This one I'm working on. I'm just working on a way to, it has to sort of cover up these holes here without just sticking a seed bead in, because it's a 2-hole bead, and you see how they kind of sandwich together, and I just want to do it in a way that doesn't look like I'm just sticking a bead in there just to cover up a hole. So any ideas, I'd be happy to to hear them. But I will get it done, and we'll make it as the clasp or a component on this bracelet, because I think it will look nice together. So I'll just give you a quick, so it'll be something like this. This stitch is gorgeous. It's so supple, and it just conforms to your wrist. So I just think it would be cool to have some sort of component on it. You can do all kinds of things with this once you learn it. All right, so enough talking. So what I want you to do is gather up some 8/0 seed beads. So I'm going to work with 8/0s and a size 10 beading needle. And so I'm using 6-pound fireline. I like it with 6-pound because you're going through these beads a lot, and it makes it, it's nice and flexible with 6-pound. I did 8-pound on one of these, and it's still lovely. I mean, this is awesome, but and it's just pretty like that too. So I would just get 6. If you have 6-pound, use it. If not, use 8-pound. And get a few different colors of 8/0 seed beads. We're just going to use 2 at the moment just to work on this a bit. And then I'll give you some ideas about how to, get the picot on and such. All right, so gather up your goodies and we'll get started. Okay, so we're back. So I've got some size 8 seed beads here, and I've got my, my little sample. I've got a size 10 beading needle with some 6-pound or 8-pound fireline. So we're going to start with what I'm calling the main color, which is the turquoise, and the black is sort of the in-between color. So take 4 of your main color. Bring them down. I've got a lot of thread on this needle. And just tie them into a knot. Just like maybe you were doing some right angle weave. And so you're just starting out. Don't worry about a tail, we're just practicing right now. So here you go. Got this little unit done. And we're just going to come through the next bead. Okay, so here you go. Pick up a black bead, just pop it on there. Go through that next bead. Okay, so this is what you have. All right. So I'm just going to situate my work, kind of like so, and then I want you to come down this bead. Okay. So I've just come around a little bit just to put my piece in the direction I'm going. Okay. So this is what you have. You've got a black bead here and your 4 beads. Pick up a black bead and 4 of your main color, like that one. Bring those down to your piece, to your little square. Skip the black bead and go up the next 2 turquoise beads. And then what that does, it gives you a little, say, a little 4 bead unit. And if it's down on the thread a bit like that, just it's very loose right now. Just pull it over. Okay, black bead, 4 of your main color. Bring those down, just like that. Okay, skip the black one, go up the 2 turquoise beads. Okay, just like that. Let's do that one more time. Black bead, 4 turquoise, bring those down. Skip the black one, go up the next 2 turquoise beads. Pull. Now you have 4 of your little units on. Let's do it one more time. Black bead, 4 turquoise beads. Bring those down. That's what you have. And don't worry if they sort of wonky and they move around. It's okay. Skip the black one, go up the 2 turquoise beads. Okay. All right, so this is what you have. You can see it here on this one. I have 5 of those little units with black beads in between them. All right, so pick up a black bead and just, you're coming out of the end bead here, just go through the next one. Okay, and this is what you have. So now we want to attach the, this black bead to each unit. So every other row we're going to be doing this. You're going to come through the next turquoise. You're going to come through this black one and then down through the next 2 turquoise beads. Okay, so that's 1, 2. Okay, let's do that again. Come through the black one. Just like that. And then the bottom 2 turquoise beads. Okay. Come through the black one. And then through the 2 turquoise beads. Come through. Now when you're on the last unit, come through the black one. And then just 1 of the turquoise beads on the end unit. Alright, so this is what you're going to have. So this is my This is what I have so far. All right, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of my tail so it's not in your way. So I'm just going to take and I'm going to, being that it's knotted, I'm just going to take it off, burn it off. All right, so this is what you have. All right, so I'm going to pull in for this part because this part's a little tricky, but it's not bad. Once you get it, you know, it's one of those aha moments. So pick up a black bead, a turquoise and a black. So we want to get, you know, attach another unit. So we're starting the unit now. So bring it down. Right, just like that. I want you to come through past the black one and come through the turquoise and the black one, just like that. And I want you to go around this unit. Well, let's do this first. We'll go through the turquoise and the black one. So what that does is it, you know, pull that. It just puts those 3 beads on. All right, so that's our beginning of our next row. All right, so I'm going to pick it up. You're coming out of the black bead. I want you to go through this turquoise bead and around that 4 bead unit. So 1. You can go through the end black bead too. 2. 3. And don't worry about it if it's a little wonky. Okay, and then go down, trying to keep this, right, if you go down this last bead of that unit. So you've come up and gone around this unit, and then I want you to come through the black one as well. Okay, so I'm going to come down this black bead. Okay, just like that, coming through that black one. And this is what you have. So I'm going to put this down on my... So that little black bead is going to be in the end bead. All right. So this is what you have. It looks weird right now, but it'll get better. So pick up 3 of your turquoise beads. Okay. And one thing about this stitch is everything is about how you insert your needle. You know, whether you're going this way or that way, just insert the way I insert, the way I tell you, and everything will come out good. Believe me, I have gone through all the anguish of trying to get this right for you. All right. So I want you to come through this bead like so. So you're coming out of this black one. I want you have 3 turquoise on your needle. Come back through this one. I know it looks weird, but just come back through this way. Okay. And when you do that, see what happens? You get a little unit going on there. So then come through this turquoise bead, okay, and through this turquoise bead, the top 2 of that unit, and this is what you have. All right, so you've got your second unit, you know, your first unit on of your second row. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take a black, a turquoise, and a black. I like that black one. Black, turquoise, black. And you want to attach this unit to this unit. So in order to do that, you want to go all the way around this unit, but you want to insert your needle this way. See? Like so. Going this way. Okay? And then come through the top 2 beads of that unit. Okay? Come down the bottom bead of that 4 and the black one right there. Okay? It's the black one you'd put on. And now you're coming out of that black bead. All right, so you want to complete the unit, pick up 3 of your turquoise beads. Okay, now watch again how I'm inserting my needle. Come back around through this turquoise bead. See? This way. Pull. See, that finishes the unit, and then in order to complete the unit for the next step, come through the first, that top turquoise bead next to the one you're coming out of. So you see how that gives you another unit? All right, let's do that again. take a black, turquoise, excuse me, black, turquoise, black. Okay, I pick it up. So you want to attach this unit to this unit, so you're going to take your needle and you're going to come through this unit, this bottom bead of that unit. Go this way. Okay? Make sure your needle is going in the right direction. And then come up through the top two. Okay? See? Down the last turquoise of that unit and that black one. Oops. Oh, I was afraid that was going to happen. Alright, so we'll see if we can get ourselves back together without... Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. So you're coming out of that black bead. 3 turquoise beads. Come back this way through this turquoise bead, just like that. Make sure you put your needle in that way. I'm telling you, it's all about how you insert your needle. Okay, and then to complete it so you can start the next group, come through the next turquoise bead. Okay, now because it flew out of my hand a minute ago, we'll just keep on going. So a black, turquoise, and a black. You want to attach the start of this unit to this unit, so you're just coming through this way to get those on. Now you have to go around the unit completely. 1, 2. There we go. We're going through the blue and then that first black one. Okay. Don't get your stuff tangled and you're coming out of that black bead. Alright, so I'm going to pull out just a teeny touch just so I'm not overwhelming. Okay, so coming out of the black bead, 3 turquoise beads. Remember, we're going to go through this bead, but you're going through from the back this way. Okay, that puts that next unit on. If you want to complete it, come through the next bead. Alright, take a black, a turquoise, and a black. Okay, so you want to attach this unit to this unit. You're coming through this way. Your needle is going back this way, attaching that on. Then you have to go through the top 2. If you have to do them one at a time, that's fine. 2. I like to go through the end bead, but you don't have to. You can just go right down to the blue bead. Okay, like that. And then you want to come through. Remember, we're coming through that black bead, just like that. Okay, so this is what you have. You're coming to the end of the row here. Okay, all right, so that's what you have. Pick up 3 of your turquoise, and you want to come back through, again, that little turquoise bead down there. And then come through the next bead to get your needle in position for the next bead. So here we are, we're at the end again. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our black bead on here and come through here to get our end bead on. See, just like that. And then remember, we went through the other turquoise bead. We're just with thread now. We're attaching everybody, we're getting everybody connected. Black bead. This is the easy part. Come through the 2 blue on the bottom, or turquoise on the bottom. Come through the black. The 2 turquoise on the bottom. The black. 2 turquoise on the bottom. Okay, now we're on the last unit, so we're coming through the black. And then 1 turquoise on the bottom. So this is what we have. Those are our first 2 rows. Now I'll do it again so you can get the end going. All right, so we're going to pick up a black, a turquoise, and a black. Bring those down. So here they are. You're going to skip the black and come up through the turquoise and the black, just like that. Okay, I'm going to pick it up now. And this one you want to pull so they're up against the work. Okay, so you've come through the turquoise and the black, and I'm just going to pull a little just so you see where I'm going. So from here I'm just going around this unit, remember? So I'm coming through the next turquoise bead on that unit, and then I'm going to go through the top 2 beads. So that's 1, 2. I'm going to go around 3. Okay, and then you want to come through that black bead. Okay, like that. Okay, and if you sort of pull this aside a little bit, you'll see that it's part of the unit, right? So that becomes part of the unit. All right, so we're going to take 3 turquoise beads, and then remember we're coming through your bead from this direction, coming through this way. Don't go through that way. Go through this way. Pull those on. Watch what happens. Okay, when it puts my next unit on, but I'm coming out of this bead, so I want to come through my 2 turquoise beads and end up coming out of this bead. All right, so that puts that bead right there. Okay, so now you're going to take a black bead, a turquoise bead, and a black bead. All right, and you want to go around the second unit now to attach the part of the next unit. So come through this bead. Remember, you're going up this way, so like try to forget that there's something up top there so you can see. Coming this way. Right there. Okay, and then you want to go, you want to go around all those beads. Okay, of that one little unit above. That's 2, 3, 4. Okay, then come through the black bead. All right, so here we are, 3 beads. Remember, you've got that little blue bead there, or the turquoise. You're coming this way, back through it this way. Don't go this way. Come through this way. See? And there's your unit, right? But you need to move your needle over through this bead, just like that. So you're in line, in position, excuse me, for your next beads. Take a black bead, a turquoise, and a black. Remember, we want to start connecting to this next unit, so you have to come up these 4, but you have to come up this way, like that. 2, 3, and then down the last one. So you've gone around that previous unit to attach this part of this unit, and then you have to go through this black bead again. Okay, just like so. And then take your 3. That was a skinny one. Your 3 turquoise beads, and remember you're coming out of the black one. Come around and come through the turquoise one in this direction. Okay, and then you're coming out of this bead right here. You just want to move over to the next one to position your needle for more beads. Okay, so what we're really doing is we're attaching each row to the previous row, and once you get that, once you see it, and it might take a while, it's not, you'll say aha. I mean, it may just be really simple for you to do it, but it took me a little while to get it. So here we have a black, a turquoise, a black. You want to go around this unit this way. Okay, so if you like counterclockwise. Okay, so there, through there, through the next one, through the last of those four, and then the black one. Right? So you've part of that unit on. Take 3 turquoise, and you're coming at the black one. Come around this way, through this way, to attach that unit on. See how it attaches on? But then you have to go through the next turquoise bead to set up for your next set of beads. Okay, I'm going to go do that again. Black, turquoise, black. Remember, you want to go around this unit here to attach, so you're coming this way. Put your needle in this way. Come up through the second bead of that unit, the next bead of that unit. And I just want to clarify the end here. You can go through the this little black bead again, or just pass by and go right to this bead. I like going through that black bead. It just tightens everything up nicely. And then go through this bead. Okay? Now you're ready for your 3 turquoise beads. Alright, and remember, we have the 3 turquoise beads, and we're coming through this turquoise in this direction. Okay, and when you look, here we are, we're on again, right? But in order to get into position to put on more beads, we have to come through one more turquoise bead and make that into a little 4-bead unit. Okay, so now here's the easy row. Take a black bead, come through, you're coming out of this bead, come through the next bead, and the bead next to it. And that puts your little black bead on the end. And then remember, we're going through a black bead, and then the bottom 2 turquoise beads, a black bead, the bottom 2 turquoise beads, a black bead, the bottom 2 turquoise beads, the black bead, and one of the beads on the bottom of this unit. So this bead right here of this unit, just one, not both. Okay, so this is the wonky turn. Okay, so we're just going to take a black, a turquoise, and a black. Bring those down. Skip this one. Go up the turquoise and the black. Menu. Like so. Give that a pull. Alright, and I just want to show you where you're going up at this point, so we're going to go around this unit, right? So we're going to come through this one. Okay, you can come through your black one, through these 2. That's 1, 2, and then remember, we come down through the turquoise, just going around that 4-bead unit right there, and then through that black one that we put on. Alright, so then you have that wonky looking end sticking out there. Pick up 3 turquoise beads, and remember, straighten this bead out. You're coming this way through the bead. This way. Not this way. This way. When you put those on, that's what happens. Okay? And then you want to come through this bead. And then to set yourself up to put more beads on, you have to come through that second one. Okay, so you see we have all these nice little neat units with their little black beads in between. So what we're doing from here is we're going to go for a black, a turquoise, a black. And remember, we have to go around the second unit to attach this unit. So go through that one, through this one, through the next one, through the next one. We're just going around the 4-bead unit, and then we want to come down through the black one that we put on to set ourselves up for our next beads. So put on 3 turquoise beads, and remember we're coming around this way through that turquoise bead that's hanging down there. Okay, put those on, see? And then in order to get into position to put more beads on, we have to come through the second turquoise bead. So that's it. Okay? Not that bad. Pick up a black, a turquoise, and a black. Okay? So again, you want to go around this, you want to attach to this unit. Okay? So here's, come on the bottom, come this way, like so. This way. Just going around the unit. Just isolate that little unit, and you won't have any problem. Okay, so we've gone around all 4 beads of that unit and come down that black one as well. And then you're ready to add your 3 turquoise beads. Okay, so remember, when you add these, you're coming out of the black one, come around and go through this way. See, there it is. But then in order to put more beads on, you have to come through the next one in line. The next turquoise to make that into a little unit. Okay, pick up a black, turquoise, and a black. So we're attached here. We want to attach to the next unit. So to attach, we have to go this way. Come up, come through. Just going through that unit to attach it. There. And down. This one. Okay, and then you want to go through the black one you had just added. Just get into position to put some more beads on. Okay, so let's put on 3 11 turquoise beads. Okay, and remember, you're going to go back through this bead here. So remember, you're going in this direction, right? Come back, you're coming out of the black one, go around, put those on. And that puts that little X on there, but you have to go through the next turquoise bead in order to finish your unit. Okay, I'll go through the last row with this last bit with you. So black, turquoise, black. You want to attach to this unit, right? So come through here and then go all the way around the unit. I'm going through my little edge bead as well. Come through the last bead of that unit, and then down through that black bead we added on. Okay, and then you have to add your 3 of your turquoise beads and come up through that turquoise bead. Okay, and then to finish that unit, you have to come down the next bead, like so. And then remember, what we do now is we put on a black bead and we just come through this bead like these, the 2 bottoms, and then we go across the row by going through the black, the 2 turquoise on the bottom. It's all a matter of connecting all the rows or all the units to each other. It's really kind of fun after a while. Once you get it, it's a lot of fun. Okay, so keep going. Keep going. Go through your last black one, and then one, just one, of the bottom two of that 4 unit at the end. Okay, so there you have it. Not bad, huh? So just keep going, and you know, and practice it as much as you like until until it's really comfortable. I really had to learn this, so I took pictures with my camera of each step so I'd remember it. All right, so there you go. There's sort of Pondo Stitch / some sort of chenille type stitch. And it's really a lot of fun. Like I said, you can, it's really a nice supple fabric. I love it. It's so much fun once you learn to play with it. And I think there are all kinds of possibilities for these end beads. That's why I like not putting the picot on, but you can put the picot on. So look at that. I mean, you could even like make a unit and hang it, use those as, some way of attaching right there. I love the fact that there's a lot of freedom on the sides of this. So, I mean, you can put crystals on. You can do crystals in between. I mean, there are so many things. It's kind of like a netting in a way, but it's beautiful on its own, and it's really beautiful on, just with all kinds of little inclusions or, little pieces, well, that's kind of weird, but, just adding all kinds of stuff to it. I see a lot of possibilities. All right, so that's the stitch. There you go. So have fun with this. I hope you enjoy making lots of bracelets and, all kinds of possibilities, I think, with this stitch. So there you go. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm working on the bracelet and the component, so we'll put that up as soon as I can figure out the component to where it's, I'm happy with it. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Subscribe if you like these tutorials. Join us on Facebook. We're having a grand old time on Facebook, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.